Witnesses saw 24-year-old Tripp and his dad kicking around a soccer ball, talking about the World Cup. Then,
and a witness heard the victim screaming for help. He screamed that he's stabbing me, he's killing me.
3 witnesses called 911. Police say they found 58-year-old James Bennett Jr. severely wounded near the slide on the playground. His last words?
Who stabbed you? And he said, my son.
We got a man who stabbed his father 20 times during a day at the park. So he has been charged with first-degree murder. So let's get over into that.
24-year-old man has been arrested in connection with a deadly stabbing at a playground in Wellesley. WBZ's Mike Sullivan has more on the investigation.
James Bennett III was brought into the courthouse this morning around 9:30. The Wellesley native is charged with stabbing his father to death. The incident took place here at Phillips Park in Wellesley.
A witness heard the victim screaming for help. He screamed that he's stabbing me, he's killing me. He was able to answer the question when the officer said to him, who stabbed you? And he said, my son.
After it happened, prosecutors say Bennett ran back to his home, showered, changed, and put the knife and his clothes in a bag. They say he took a photo of himself bloody before heading to police to turn himself in.
He was unaware at that time. We believe that his father had died.
Investigators say they found DNA under his fingernails that was presumptive for blood. Bennett's attorney told the judge his client has a significant history of mental health issues. After court, his lawyer had this message from the Bennett family.
What does the mental health issue have to do with this man stabbing his father 20 times? Are they trying to get to an insanity plea? Are they trying? There are a lot of people with mental health issues. There's even more, and there's majority of them don't commit these crazy crimes. Let's keep going though.
Through the same tragedy that any family going through this fact pattern would go through. They're here to show their support and love for their son, cousin, and nephew, James, who's just charged. They're also terribly upset with the fact that the death of James, the father.
Bennett could face life in prison. He's being held without bail, and his next hearing is July 10th.
Okay, held without bail. You know I like to hear that. Let's get over into this next one.
Tonight, a 24-year-old man is being held without bail, accused of stabbing his own father 20 times, killing him in a Wellesley park. James Floyd Bennett III pleading not guilty to that crime in court today. Prosecutors say in his last words, the victim told officers that his son was the attacker. As WBZ's Christina Rex shows us, defense attorneys say that suspect has a history of mental illness.
He's accused of murdering his dad.
This party here is saying it was his son. We haven't gotten his name, and we don't have this party's info. He's losing consciousness.
James Bennett III, a.k.a. Tripp, faced a judge Friday, pleading not guilty to first-degree murder.
There were very few people in the park at that time.
It happened around 6 p.m. Thursday at the quiet, public Phillips Park in Wellesley. Witnesses saw 24-year-old Tripp and his dad kicking around a soccer ball, talking about the World Cup. Then,
and a witness heard the victim screaming for help. He screamed that he's stabbing me, he's killing me.
3 witnesses called 911. Police say they found 58-year-old James Bennett Jr. severely wounded near the slide on the playground. His last words?
Who stabbed you? And he said, my son.
Now, I don't know how you get from kicking a ball in the park with your father to stabbing him 20 times. Nah, that could be explained by mental issues, but does that change the fact that he needs to be locked up? Does that change the facts, y'all? Let's keep going.
Before he lost consciousness.
Bennett was pronounced dead at the hospital with more than 20 stab wounds. His son Tripp allegedly fled the scene, bagged up the murder weapon and his clothes back at home, even took a picture of himself covered in blood, showered, then turned himself into police. His lawyer says he has a history of mental health issues and that his family members who showed up to court support him.
They've lost 2 family members. The family loves the fellow that was just charged in there.
On the quiet trail Friday,
it's very disappointing and heartbreaking, I think.
Neighbors are stunned by the second murder in Wellesley this year. Jeanette McCausland is accused of killing her 2 children back in April in town. A memorial for those kids is just feet from where this latest alleged homicide happened. Before 2026, there hadn't been a murder here since 1999.
Wow. Absolutely.
It's not going to feel like unsafe for me. Like it is still safe for me, and I like this neighborhood. I like the people here, but it kind of reminds me that still there is something that we need to look out for ourselves, and we need to be kind to each other.
Tripp Bennett will be held without bail for now. He has another court appearance coming up on July 10th.
So this man killed his father, stabbed him more than 20 times, then went home, showered, put all his stuff and the knife in a bag, took a picture of while he was bloody, and then turned himself into the police. I gotta be honest, that doesn't sound like a cold-hearted killer, or it could be a ploy, or I might be falling for it, and it could be a ploy to make him seem like he has mental issues. Let's get over into this AI breakdown and just get more of the bigger picture of this whole case, y'all, because this is crazy. So as we know, we got James, 24, has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder for the fatal stabbing of his 58-year-old father, James. Oh, he was a third at the public park in Massachusetts. So at his June 26th arraignment, he pleaded not guilty and was ordered to be held without bail. The fatal encounter occurred before 6 p.m. on Thursday, June 25th at the Phillips Park. The father and the son were initially observed kicking around a soccer ball, discussing the World Cup, and mapping out dinner plans. The encounter abruptly turned violent. A part witness heard the father screaming, "He's stabbing me, he's killing me," prompting multiple emergency 911 calls. When first responders arrived, they found the elder bleeding profusely from roughly 20 stab wounds before losing consciousness. The victim explicitly identified his son as the attacker to the police. He pronounced dead shortly after arriving at the hospital. Following the attack, the younger Bennett ran back home. He shared with his mother, took a photo of his bloody self, showered, packed his clothes and the knife into a garbage bag, and then walked directly into the police department and turned himself in. Prosecutors stated that he did not initially realize his father was dead. So the question is, would he have still turned himself in if he knew or if he was planning to kill him? So the defense attorney noted that his client suffers from significant documented history of profound mental health illnesses and institutionalizations. Family, friends, and neighbors shared that Bennett III, known to loved ones as Tripp, graduated from Wesley High School in 2020 and studied cognitive science and philosophy at the university before his mental decline, forcing him to return home. Close friends emphasized that younger Bennett deeply loved his father, calling the tragedy a severe escalation of a young man fighting to contain his demons. The investigation remains ongoing, and he is scheduled to be in court July 10th. Contain his demons. Wow. Now, question. You kill your father by stabbing him 20 times. You think you didn't kill him, so you turn yourself in. It sounds like he's making a good play for an insanity plea, or not guilty by the reason of insanity. The question is, will the psychologist and it depends on if the jury or the judge believe what he's going through or what he went through. I want to know what made him snap that instantly. We'll have to go through all his history to see if he had any plans to do this before, or if it was truly just a snap situation. But the question is, how much time should he get? I've said this several times. Even if someone is given the insanity plea, they need to be housed or supervised, I'm thinking, for the rest of their lives. If your brain has already taken you to a level to where you've taken someone's life, I don't know if I'm ever 100 positive that your brain won't take you to that level again, because the brain is a very mysterious thing. So they need to be monitored, most likely for the rest of their lives. At least that's my thinking. You might think differently. You think, oh, if it was just a one-time thing, it could never happen again. The brain is very weird. That's the best way to describe it. And we don't know much about it. Or we don't know as much as we could. But this is a tragic case, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on the situation. Do you think that he will be able to get away with the insanity plea, which he will most likely take, or his defense attorney will most likely try to get?